Welcome to Wednesday morning webcast presented by How Lumber and hosted by Tye Valentino. Val is a kitchen designer here at How Lumber, and today's series is part 2 of 3 parts, and it will give you all the information you need to know about how to draw a room layout. This should only take about 7 minutes of your time. I'm really excited to get going, so let's dive right in.
All right. I hope you feel more comfortable with the tape measure now, and now you can give me the information that I need to map out your room. We're going to show you how to make a drawing, how to measure out that drawing, and first we're going to take a tour of the room that we're going to use as our model for this video. All right, so let's get to it. Not only am I the star of this video, I'm also the videographer, the editor, chief in design. So we'll start down the center of the room. You can see it's just a simple passageway. There's nothing to the ceiling. It's not a cased opening. It's not a sheetrock opening. It's just a wall with an opening, okay? Along this wall here to a nook where the entry is. Now, I want these specific areas as well. You see that oil burner switch? If that were somewhere where we could potentially put cabinets, I would want to know about that oil burner switch. I don't necessarily need to know about that one here, but I do want to know about that cellar door. I do want to know about that 9-light door. I do want to know about that switch. I may not put cabinets here, but if I do, that switch is important, all right? I'm going to want to know its width, piece to piece. I'm also going to want to know where that edge is off of the door casing or the corner here. In this case here, I would go up the door casing. Simply take that measurement here to here, and that would be sufficient, all right? We then would roll on to this casement window. It's a crank out window. That's a casement window. In my drawing, I'm going to have you mark that as a CS, casement. That simple. Onto the blank wall. Down into this corner, we've got a 15-light French door with a single side light. All right, just FR, door, that's enough. Side light. Onto another casement window, 2 more cranks. All right, it's a casement window. Important, we want to know what the height of that window is off the floor. We also want to know the height of the window from top to bottom, all right? Even on this one here, I want to know where it is off the floor, okay? Then we come into the corner, around, and then down to the end, all right? If you're going to keep your appliances, it probably is not a bad idea to give me center lines of your stove, your refrigerator, and things like that, just so that I know where they are. I may not put them exactly where they are. I might move it 6 inches. I might move it 12 inches. It's really going to just depend on what the floor plan tells me to do and what makes sense. And then we've of course got ceiling height. All right, so let's get to the drawing and check this out and see where we're at. All right, guys, welcome back here. So I think I said this already, but so this is a really simple layout, okay? And somewhere down the road, after COVID is over, I'm going to try to get a more complex layout for you as well. This is very, very basic. All right. So down here's where we started, this opening into the hallway. Again, it's not a cased opening. It's not a sheetrocked opening. It's simply where a wall ends and another wall starts, and that's it, okay? We run along to this wall here and then through the nook. So when we're measuring this space, and I'm going to do another tutorial on one wall and show you how to measure, but we're going to want from end to corner, okay? I don't know if you can see that really well, that little check mark. From corner to check mark, that check mark delineates the end of the case and the outside of the case, and like I showed you previously in the video. This particular cellar door, okay, goes from the outside of the casing all the way into the corner. There is no space between the door and the corner. So we would measure into the corner from the outside of the casing. Here we would go corner to corner, and then out here, which is the wall I'm going to show you on, there's a space between the door casing and the wall. So it would go from the corner of the wall to the outside of the casing, from the outside of the casing to the outside of the casing of that 9-light door. And then we would go from the outside of the casing of the 9-light door to the outside of the casing of that big casement window. and then we would go from the outside of the casement window to the outside of the casement window, and the outside of the casement window into the corner. Now this one here is tricky because that 15 light door, well, it goes all the way into the corner as well. So it's going to be tough to get that measurement exact into that corner because it's really what we want. But this is how your basic drawing should look. It doesn't have to be to scale, but try to make it, try to make it look appropriate size-wise. I'm not asking you to scale it out. Please don't do that. Don't go crazy. The measurements are going to tell me the story. But you can see this is pretty accurate in size. Some of the things that are going to be important. Listen, cellar door, 9 light. I simply write 9 light, L-I-T-E. Light switch. There's a light switch here. I want the measurements on that light switch. I'm not going to put a cabinet here, but I'm going to show you how to measure a light switch just so that we know it's there, okay? CS, that's how I mark casement and windows. Casement, just simple. Down here, 15 light with side light. Write it out, shorthand it, whatever you want to do. Sink, casement, stove. Center line's pretty important of that stove. If you're going to keep your appliances where they are currently, I think knowing the center line of that stove is probably pretty important, okay? I still might move it 6 inches, 12 inches to improve the layout, and that typically is not a big problem. We can go over that in further discussion. If you're going to do a microwave over the top, let me know you're going to do a microwave over the top, okay? Refrigerator location, yeah, there's a refrigerator here. All right, maybe it's not staying there, maybe it is. Fridge. Okay, there's another light switch over here. There's also a heat register. All right, I didn't pick that up on the video. You'll probably be able to see it, but I didn't point it out. If there's a heat register, I should know it, whether it's in the floor or on the wall, or if it's a radiator. Those things are important. Ceiling height. I want a ceiling height. Trim. Look, this is not an important detail maybe to you, but to me it is. I like to know what color the trim is. Whew, excuse me. With that said, it's pretty basic information. Again, this is not one of the more complicated ones. If you have model numbers for your appliances, those would be great if you're going to keep those appliances. If you're getting new appliances, at some point, I'm going to want those model numbers before we order cabinets. If you don't give me model numbers before I order your cabinets, I'm going to tell you what those openings are going to be, and it's going to be your responsibility to then make sure they fit, not mine. Okay? Let's get on to showing you how to measure a wall, okay?
Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning webinar presented by Howe Lumber. Tye Valentino can be reached in the Howe Lumber showroom at the number listed above, 508-885-5396, or by emailing him at his email, valentino@howlumber.com, or you can call or text his cell phone at 774-200-4315. We look forward to seeing you all back here again next week for another Wednesday morning webcast. Have a great week.